everyone, welcome back. I am really excited to film today. I have kind of been feeling like I'm in a creative rut, so for the month of March, I have decided that I will find some sort of way to be creative every single day, and today we're going to be creative with makeup. Now with it being March, I figured we could add some green into today's makeup look, so I'm really excited to pull out some of my green eyeshadows that I haven't got much use out of and see what we can create. Before we get started, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and we'll get going. Today I figured we would just go through the whole entire makeup look together instead of just going through the eyeshadow, because I feel like that would be a really short video and I want to give some oomph to being creative. I will say though, I did already go ahead and prime. I used my Tarte smoothing primer and also the NYX Marshmallow primer. And for foundation today, we're actually going to be using the Nars Soft Matte. I am trying to incorporate some of my project pan into my videos. And because we are being creative and the idea that I have for the eyeshadow is kind of intense, I feel like a full coverage foundation will be a good fit. I will say the shade that I currently have is not a perfect match. I am quite a bit paler than this shade, but we'll go from there and hopefully I can make it work. So I'm just going to use a brush and I poured it on the back of my hand and go from there. Yeah, it's quite yellow. But I do think Nars has really good foundations. I'm really excited to get my hand on the new skincare one. I feel like I look pretty ghostly in camera, but in person I look kind of yellow. Part of why I like this foundation so much is because it is a soft matte formula, and I am an oily person and today is actually pretty warm. But the soft matte portion of this formula really helps to keep my oils at bay. I'm not going to do anything new for concealer. I'm still in love with my Jouer Essential Concealer, and I'm just going to go in with my Givenchy setting powder because I think it's amazing. And I mean, this is a full coverage look, so let's use some full coverage products. And I like to do my concealer and powder one eye at a time. I don't know why, I just do. So I only put powder under my eyes and down my nose because I did highlight my nose with some concealer. But I'm going to do a little bit of contour, and we're going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. And I like to do one side at a time. Again, I find it to be a little bit easier. And I like to use a brush to diffuse this. And I think you just get a really nice contour. I only use contour on my cheeks because I like to put bronzer on my forehead and my nose, but I am going to go back in with my Givenchy powder and set the rest of my face. And I do even go over the contour we just put down and set that. That way it's a little bit easier to put bronzer on over top. If you're wondering about my puff, it is actually from Tarte Beauty. And unfortunately, Tarte Beauty was closed down earlier this year, so you're not going to be able to find it. But there are some good puffs that I like to use that I purchased from Amazon. They're great too. I just happen to have this one a bit closer today. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with my Scott Barnes bronzing powder. I did a video using all my Scott Barnes makeup products, and this was actually new to me and I have fallen in love with it. I can't stop using it. So we're just going to warm up the cheeks a bit more over that contour. Well, kind of above the contour actually. And then I also like to do some on the forehead. I do a little bit down the nose. Not much, but enough to like give my nose some shape. And then I also go under my chin and like down under my jaw to help give some definition there. My bronzer looks intense. I might be going a little bit heavier handed than I normally would, but I'm serious. It's a nice day. I took my dogs for a walk and I didn't even have to wear a sweatshirt. Didn't even have to put a coat on. I could just go out in my long sleeve shirt and it was a wonderful little walk. I think for blush today, we're going to go in with the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Blush. This is in the shade Magic Hour. And I'm just going to place it here kind of on my cheekbone a little bit higher and up towards my temple. I do like blush on my nose. And I also like a little bit on my hairline. I think it helps tie everything in. And then I do go over with my sponge and just press everything together. I really like the Heaven Glow blushes because like you can kind of see a highlight within that blush, but I am a little extra, so I'm going to go into my Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette and put on some highlight. I have been using this highlight non-stop since I purchased this palette back in December. I don't know what it is about this highlight, but I find it to be absolutely stunning, and it goes with every single makeup look that I have done. I don't find it to be too intense, and you just get a really beautiful shine. I am going to spray the face. We're going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter. I have found that this is like one of the best setting sprays for longevity. I did go ahead and prime my eyes. I just used my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. It is going to be a longer day for me, so that's the eye primer that I tend to gravitate towards for longer days. But for eyeshadow, I wanted to pull out my Natasha Denona Mini Metropolis palette. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. But it looks like this, and I really want to use this pretty green shade in here. And then I also pulled out my Gold palette by Natasha Denona. It's got some really pretty green colors as well. And I figured they will go pretty well with that one from the Metropolis. To begin though, we're going to start in the Gold palette, and we're going to go in with this shade, which is called Teak. I am just going to start with a pretty big fluffy brush, and I'm going to pack it into my crease and kind of turn it into a transition shade. Once I get the color to the intensity that I want, I like to use circular motions to really buff it out and blend it up. And that's how I create it as a crease shade and also a transition shade. Next, we're going to go into this shade. It's called Python, and it's a really pretty, deeper bluish green shade. I'm taking a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to try to pack it really in my crease, like my real crease, with just a touch of it popping out. This color is taking a little bit longer to build up in pigment, but that's totally okay. I'm not picking up a whole lot at a time because I'm trying to be careful and not go overboard with this color. But I like the definition that it's giving in my crease, and then going into the brown shade and then to the lightest shade that we blended out. A tip that I learned from Rose and Ben Beauty is that if you have hooded eyes like I do, it's best to just lean your head back, and you can really find where your crease is and help center the pigment in your crease without raising your eyebrows, which is going to change where your crease actually is. But if you just tilt your head back, you should be good to go. So I'm just going to do a little more blending now that I've got the pigment where I want it. I'm still going to try to keep it really focused in my crease, but just blend it a little bit more into that brown. I really like that shade, and now I have a new idea of what I want to do. Yep, gonna change the plan. So I'm gonna go back into that Python shade, and I'm actually gonna pack it all over the lid. That's a beautiful thing about makeup, is that you can change your mind halfway through it, and you can get more creative as you're going, or you can change it. And don't worry, we're still gonna be using the Mini Metropolis palette. I just have a new plan. Wasn't expecting to like this color so much, especially for me because, you know, I'm kind of a neutral person, and this is not neutral. Next, we're going to go into the Metropolis palette, and I'm going to go into this gold shade, and it's either called Blaze or Corrode. I don't know, but it's this really pretty sparkly gold shade. And just like any other shimmer, I'm just taking it on my finger, and I'm going to pack it on my lid, right over top of that really pretty blue shade we used. I'm not going to take it all the way. I'm just doing about 3/4 of the way because I still want that blue to like peek through the gold. And because I couldn't get it all the way in my inner corners, I'm taking this flat shader brush. I'm just going to pick up that color, and I'm actually going to spray it with some setting spray so it doesn't get all flaky, and press it into this inner corner. There is still a little bit of fallout, but it's not bad if you use a setting spray. I'm going to go back into my big fluffy brush and just go around the edges of that shimmer so it looks a little bit more diffused. which will also spread the shimmer up a little bit higher. Totally fine by me. Next, I'm going to go into this dark brown shade in this palette. I think it's called Rope, but I'm not really sure. I'm just taking it on a really small brush, and we're going to place that on the lower lash line. Now we're going to go into this green shade, which I believe is called Jubilee. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to take it on another small kind of flat brush, and I will dampen it with a setting spray. And I'm going to stamp this along the lower lash line. I'm going to go back in with that pencil that we used, the brown, and just kind of do a little bit of blending. Gonna try to wipe away some more of the fallout. Probably should have done my eyes first, but I was impatient. And then I'm actually gonna be using my Makeup by Mario eyeliner, and I'm gonna put that in my waterline and do a little bit of a smokiness up here. It's not like a huge wing, but I did want to add a little bit more smokiness. And the other side of this liner has like a little brush thing to blend. Last but not least, I am going to go into the highlight that we used on our face and just add a little inner corner highlight here. Help brighten up that inner corner. And those are the eyes. My take of adding a little bit of green into March. So I'm going to put on some mascara and put my eyebrows on, and then we'll come back to finish up the lips. My eyes are so much darker than I'm used to. But I mean, I'm feeling very creative today, which was the purpose of this video. So let's go ahead and finish up the lips. I think we'll probably do something neutral. So for a lip liner, I'm going to be using my Melt Cosmetics Perfectionist Lip. This is in the shade Cinnamon. That was a little bit more pinky than I anticipated. I knew that because I've used that before, but I didn't know that at the same time. Anyways, I'm going to try to make it a little bit more brown. I'm going to go into my Milani Matte Lipstick. This is in the shade Tease. Actually, I think those go really nicely together. Yeah, I even like the matteness. Normally, if I wear that lipstick, I put a lip gloss on top of it, but with how shiny and bold the eyes are, I think a matte nude brown is serving me well. So here is our finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the green that I tried to incorporate. It is a little bit more bluish green, but I think for the beginning of March, I think it's a good starting place. I know for St. Patrick's Day, I do have a specific palette that I'm waiting to show you to do a St. Patrick's Day look, which is definitely green, but I do really enjoy this kind of bluish green, and I thought it would be fun to just be creative with you today and try to bring the creativity into March. So I hope that's what you're doing as well. You'll have to let me know if you enjoy this look and if you have something similar in mind that you want to create. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Also, hit the bell on your notifications and select all, and you will be notified every time I post a video. I'm here on Tuesdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.